Good day. Please allow me to present my research entitled Assessment of School Security Practices Implemented at Visayas State University Tolosa in the New Normal. I am MarieliCherry CCPRES. The researcher is a student of the College of Criminal Justice Education at the University of the Cordilleras, Philippines. For the abstract of the study, the background, this study purposely examined school security measures implemented at Visayas State University Tolosa in Eastern Visayas, specifically in the municipality of Tolosa. The theoretical framework of Schneider-Walker's Pro 2000 on schools safe design for educational leaders applying the principle of crime prevention through environmental design was used in the study. For the method, this study utilized quantitative methods, which is a questionnaire employed to elicit information on the nature of school security practices on the aspect of human, physical, technological, electronic security practices, as well as from the recent Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, and the Department of Health, DOH, Minimum Public Health Standard as adopted from CHED-DOH Joint Memorandum Circular Number 2021-004. The security measures include monitoring of school gates and exits, use of metal detectors, and presence of security officer, as well as the emergency or crisis preparedness of the institution. The questionnaire were administered to a total of 170 respondents, all of whom are school employees. For the result of the study, revealed that the institution implemented some security measures on various aspects like infrastructure or physical security and personnel or human security practices. At some point, the level of effectiveness of security measures was observed very much effective for structure, physical, as well as very much effective for personal or human security measure, and much effective for technological or electronic security, and very much effective for the implementation of the Commission on Higher Education, Department of Health minimum public standards. Overall, most of the gaps observed were on less involvement of the employees on security measures, inadequate technological or electronic security equipment. Moreover, from the recent traumatic experience of the employees of the school from a disaster affecting the region, more security personnel, including its students and school employees, were recommended to be trained to equip them to handle any future or similar crisis emergency situation. Conclusion: the various security measures implemented at Visayas State University Tolosa included the keeping of records by security personnel upon entry of visitor, school employees, where they're issued identification cards at all times, involvement of security personnel in school safety and school planning process. Security personnel have clearly defined roles and responsibility. School security personnel met a standard for training and qualification. The use of detectors and handheld detectors, the presence of closed circuit television or the CCTV in the main building, and the use of the adoption of the Department of Health minimum public health standards. Some existing policies were gaps in practices to prevent crime and provide emergency preparedness, such as the following: a fewer personnel to the actual ratio buildings and properties under the responsibility of security personnel are still wanting. B, inadequate technological and electronic security equipment used by the security personnel. And C, more security personnel, students, and school employees must be trained to handle crisis. The keyword of this research are the following: assessment, school, security, measures, practices, higher educational institution, and the new normal. The introduction. Security is considered as the primary concern of the Philippine government, that to include the higher education institution. HEIs must have a security protocols that should address the alarming security threats within school campuses and external environment. Alarmed by series of violence in various campuses, in October 2012, the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, urged all school officials of HAIs to review and tighten security measures to ensure the safety of students and school clienteles. Presently, one of the major challenges that our country is facing is the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic, and with the gradual reopening of the campus of the higher education institution for face-to-face classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Commission on Higher Education with the Department of Health mandates each EIs to follow and ensure COVID-19 protocol that as students attend classes in their respective institutions, they must be safe, secured, and protected this time of pandemic. Thus, this study have sought to assess school security practices. This study will also further looked into VSU Tolosa, particularly the level of effectiveness of school security measures and the implementation of the COVID-19 protocol. Research method. The research design used the evaluation framework employing the quantitative approach. The respondents and the sampling procedures, all employees were selected with a total of 170 personnel. The instrument used is a survey questionnaire with a 4-point Likert scale. It was pilot tested to the other respondents from similar site, however, were not the actual respondent of the study, and from the adopted Joint Memorandum of CHED-DOH Minimum Public Health Standard 2021. Data analysis, quantitative analysis of or the descriptive statistics using means and percentage to describe the data from the questionnaire was used. The locale of the study is Visayas State University, Tolosa, which is located in an 18-hectare land of Barangay Tanghas, Tolosa, Leyte, Philippines. This academic institution is directly facing the Pacific Ocean. Data collection procedure, a permission was requested from the chancellor of the school. The data collection lasted for a period of 14 days using the Google form. For the result and discussion, Figure 1 shows the school-based physical security measures. Physical security with a general weighted mean of 3.5 and this particular school-based security measure are implemented and is very much effective as observed by the employees. The physical security measures weighted 3.50 interpreted as very much effective. Accordingly, the indicator log and record each visitor's and contractor entry as well as the badge or tagged, issued, and returned for each individual with a mean of 3.99 was interpreted very much effective, ranked 1. The indicator employees wear their issued identification at all times, while in school facilities and school ground with a mean of 3.98 and interpreted as very much effective, ranked 2. And the indicator, burglars or grill bars on windows with the lowest mean of 2.94 and interpreted as very much effective. Figure 2 shows the school-based human security measures result. This shows that the average mean of school-based human security measures implemented at VSU Tolosa was 3.28, interpreted very much effective. The indicator, security personnel are involved in the safe school planning process with a mean of 3.79 was interpreted as very much effective, ranked 1. And the indicator that ranked 15, stating administrator and staff are trained in personal safety with general weighted mean of 2.51 observed as much effective by the VSU Tolosa employees. Figure 3, the school-based technological or electronic security measures. These reveal that the overall weighted mean rating of technological or electronic security measures as implemented in VSU Tolosa is 3.00, interpreted as much effective. The indicator, metal detectors or handheld detectors with a weighted mean of 3.41 interpreted as very much effective, rank 1. CCTV or the closed circuit television with 3.41 weighted mean interpreted very much effective, rank 2. The indicator fire alarm has 65% of the respondent answered much effective. It is not only VSU Tolosa as an institution that hesitates on applying technological or electronic security measures. As Schreider 2010 states that before implementing high-tech security measure, school officials should consider the possibility of unexpected repercussions. It's possible that technological solutions aren't the best fit for the problems at hand. They can be quite costly. Any network will require ongoing maintenance, eventual upgrades, and regularly updates the virus prevention and intrusion detection system or the IDS to guard against hackers and unwanted data transfer. In most cases, a full-fledged information technology or IT department will be required. Figure 4 shows the Commission on Higher Education Department of Health minimum public health standard. This shows the result of the different indicators as adopted in CHED Joint Memorandum Circular Number 2021-004, known as the Guidelines on the Gradual Reopening of Campus Higher Education Institution for Limited Face-to-Face Classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. This mandate is necessary to every institution and their CHED office. They must follow and ensure that as students attend classes in the respective institution, they must be safe, secured, and protected this time of pandemic. Reduced transmission, VSU Tolosa ensures that proper and regular wearing of appropriate personal protective equipment or PPE by the students, teaching and non-teaching personnel and visitors while inside the campus premises, with 3.84 weighted mean interpreted as very much effective rank 1. The institution continues dissemination in education campaigns and provision of adequate sanitation stations are employed with a weighted mean of 3.47 interpreted as very much effective rank 20. This implies that PSU Tolosa also implements the CHED-DOH mandate, Joint Memorandum Circular Number 2021-004, known as Guidelines on the Implementation of Limited Face-to-Face Classes for all program of higher education institution in areas under alert level system for COVID-19 response, with the overall weighted mean rating 3.75 interpreted as very much effective. For the conclusion, the various security measures implemented at Visayas State University Tolosa included the keeping of records by the security personnel upon entry of visitor, school employees wear their issued identification card at all times, involvement of the security personnel in school safety and school planning process. Security personnel have clearly defined roles and responsibility. School security personnel met a standard for training and qualification. The use of metal detectors or handheld detectors, presence of closed-circuit television or CCTV in the main building, and the use of the adoption of the Department of Health minimum public health standard. Some existing policies with gaps in practices to prevent crime and provide emergency preparedness, such as the following: A, fewer security personnel to the actual ratio buildings and properties under the responsibility of security personnel are still wanting. B, inadequate technological and electronic security equipment used by the security personnel. And C, more security personnel, students, and school employees must be trained to handle the crisis. That would be all. Thank you.